Our top story this Wednesday, a major prison reform bill passed through the Senate last night. It's aimed at easing sentences for nonviolent offenders and reducing the rate of criminals who go on to commit other crimes. The vote was 87-12, with all 12 votes against the bill from Republicans who say the reforms were too lenient and could allow dangerous criminals out of jail too soon. The bill is backed by the White House and was negotiated with the help of Jared Kushner, President Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor. He became interested in prison reform after his father spent 14 months in a federal prison for white-collar crimes. U.S. Senator Steve Daines was one of those 4 votes. He was also a co-sponsor of the bill named the First Step Act. He said, quote, "Meth has skyrocketed in Montana. We need to make sure we have every tool available to fight against an epidemic that is tearing families and increasing violent crimes in our state." The House is expected to pass the bill this week and send it to President Trump to sign. Just days after a longtime Miles City athletic trainer is arrested on child pornography charges, another dozen victims come forward in a massive sex abuse case against the trainer. An amended complaint states the 12 men say they were also sexually abused by 74-year-old James Jensen while they attended Custer County High School, where Jensen worked as the school's trainer. New evidence obtained in discovery reveals a letter given to Jensen by the school district back in 1997. This letter came after a complaint by 3 male athletes. The letter said Jensen violated policy concerning student interactions and outlined 6 objectives for Jensen to comply with. The one says Jensen must refrain in working with students one-on-one. He was also told not to give any body rub-downs unless a third person was present to maintain a line of sight. Also in the letter, Jensen is told to cease his mentoring program and that student athletes should no longer be invited to Jensen's home without another adult present. Back in September, a civil lawsuit was filed in Custer County District Court alleging Jensen sexually abused male students at the Miles City High School beginning as far back as the 1970s, lasting until Jensen left the school district in 1998. The suit alleges the school district knew of Jensen's abuse and refused to act. In response, the Miles City Unified School District launched a lawsuit of its own against Jensen. Q2 reached out to the attorney representing the school district in the case, who said, quote, "We disagree with the facts presented and have been more than complying with discovery." The civil lawsuit now totals 31 plaintiffs. However, lawyer for the victims, John Heenan, says there are dozens more, some who have still not decided whether to join the lawsuit. The judge has set a deadline of late February for more victims to come forward. The suspect arrested for the death of a construction worker south of Billings this fall pleads not guilty. 28-year-old Ethan Anderson is charged with vehicular homicide and criminal endangerment following the October 24th crash that killed 52-year-old Jeff Dykeman of Billings. During Tuesday morning's hearing, the judge reduced Anderson's bond from $100,000 to $50,000. Court documents state authorities found dust off, a compressed air product often used to clean keyboards and other electronics, in Anderson's truck. The product contains a substance often used to get high. Anderson told authorities he blacked out and does not remember the crash. The developer of a huge Westin mansion in Billings admits to embezzlement and fraud in federal court. 38-year-old Larry Wayne Price Jr. admitted to his crimes Tuesday morning, including defrauding 3 companies of more than $20 million and lying to investors about a false abduction. Prosecutors say Price used the embezzled money to develop and build the 26,000 square foot mansion on the Billings West End. The listing price for the mansion this past summer was $17 million. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Price embezzled more than $20 million from 3 coal-related companies in Wyoming and Montana. Price first ran into trouble this summer when he was arrested in Virginia and was accused of faking his own abduction in an attempt to flee creditors. Price faces the forfeiture of homes in Montana and Virginia, along with trailers, jewelry, and more. The money made will go toward restitution for the victims. Price was released pending his sentencing. He now faces a combined maximum of 25 years in prison and $500,000 in fines. Despite defense arguments, all evidence in a gruesome Missoula double murder must come forward before the trial. Augustus Standing Rock and his accused accomplice, Tiffany Pierce, allegedly killed a man and woman and then attempted to decompose the victims' bodies in chemicals. Standing Rock changed his plea to guilty last week. Pierce is scheduled for a jury trial in April. Pierce's defense team tried to prevent the court from admitting evidence from another alleged assault and stabbing that Pierce is accused of committing. But Judge James Wheelis issued an order that the defense must provide all evidence, including reports and witnesses. Well, it's onward and outward for the Alberta Bear Theatre after the Billings City Council voted to allow a street encroachment permit for the theater to expand. This means when construction begins this spring, the theater will expand landscaping and a plaza to the south side of the theater along 3rd Avenue North. It's one hurdle Executive Director Jan Dietrich says they've cleared, but there are more ahead. She says there are many remodeling decisions to work out with architects and construction crews. The theater will close May 1st to begin the $12 million renovation and construction. After learning the council approved the plans on Monday night, Dietrich says it's feeling like an exciting time for downtown Billings.
I think it's fabulous for our downtown. As far as One Big Sky Center, what the Babcock is doing right now, Art House with Phase 2, the theater, but also for the larger community. If you want to draw people to Billings, we need to have offerings culturally for them. So I think it's a very exciting time right now for Billings and our larger community.
And there is more fundraising to be done. So far, the project has raised $10 million of the goal, with $2 million to go. Business owners gathered in Bozeman Tuesday to talk about the possibility of a statewide sales tax and the Gateway Local Option Tax. State Representative Carrie White is proposing a bill that would add a 2.5% sales tax to goods, excluding groceries and medicines. A statewide sales tax would eliminate most property taxes in a state where the population is just over 1 million people, but attracted as many as 12 million visitors last year.
The statewide tax, I think what you're looking at is, rather than having a $300 a month property tax bill, you basically, that bill goes away. You're paying 2.5% sales tax on goods that are taxed as you go along month to month. And I think he made a valid point. Roughly at a 2% sales tax, if you spent $100,000 a year, that's $2,000 a year. So how many people spend $100,000 in goods on an annual outgoing basis?
The Gateway Local Option Tax would allow counties surrounding national parks to enact a sales tax. Montana, Oregon, New Hampshire, Delaware, and Alaska are the only states without a sales tax. Well, before we take a break, it's that time of year when we travel to visit family and friends over the holidays. MTN's Patrice Parks shows us how to ensure your home is secure when you leave.
Certainly, we have an element of folks who want to take advantage of the holiday season. And trying to get into homes that they don't belong in, so making sure your doors and windows are locked.
Detective Sergeant Swanson says you can also set timers for Christmas lights and interior lights.
Kind of just give the sense that somebody is home and around. If you have pets, make sure someone's also watching after them, or there's some type of schedule that you have, so we're not having a pet unattended in the house.
The police department tells us that perhaps the best line of defense is the most old-fashioned.
Talking with your neighbors is usually how we get a majority of our leads on cases or calls about suspicious activity. Just giving a simple heads up. You don't necessarily need to tell your neighbor where you're going, but you can say, I'm going to be out of town, when you keep an eye on things. We are happy to take any phone call from any citizen, and you don't have to tell us your name either. If you see something suspicious or you see someone in your neighborhood doesn't look like they belong there, a patrol officer will come through, try to contact that individual and just verify that they are supposed to be there or they're not supposed to be.
Detective Sergeant Swanson also says if you have a home security system, make sure it's working properly. These tips should help ensure your home stays secure while you enjoy the holiday. In Bozeman, Patrice Parks for MTN News.
And Sergeant Swanson also says to remember to arrange for someone to clear your sidewalk of snow while you're away.